instant blooms, and it's not readily available.
No,
This is another one that's kind of hard to come by. We talked a lot about pollinator plants and butterflies. How about some hummingbird action?
Yes! Who doesn't want hummingbirds in their
They could use a meal.
Yes.
And I don't see hummingbirds.
You don't see them as often.
It's almost like I saw a mystical creature when I do. I'm like, oh.
Yes.
And this will attract them. Here you're seeing it in the garden. It is just this beautiful, bright red. It's eye-catching. If you need a little zing,
yes,
this is a good one for you. M67017 is your item number. All right, and we're getting 2 pieces.
Yes.
Why Little Red Hen? Is it because of the colors?
Well, the colors are fantastic. You know what? We have brought you some awesome reds and yellows and oranges in this show. I have never seen this picture coming up, so this is fun. This is me crouching in a field of little redhead Spigelia. This is grown up in Michigan at the people who bred and brought this plant back to us. Because Spigelia is an awesome plant, but it's super underutilized in the landscape only because it hasn't been grown for consumers to grow.
Gotcha.
So it just hasn't been available. So what we are doing is we are growing it for you because we know that you are going to love it. Why? I know you want to know that.
Hit me.
It can grow anywhere. So it can grow in most zones in the country, 3 through 9, sun or shade. So a lot of us have shady spots in our garden. We have so many beautiful full sun plants in this show. But this is our first true, it can grow in the shade plant. So I know you've got shady spots. We have a house. The house is naturally going to shade out something. You still want color in that spot. Color in the shade is so hard to come by. Not only it can withstand the heat, it can withstand drought. It can even withstand rocky or not so great soil. So this plant really can take it all and keep on blooming. We saw those pictures of it planted. It's going to be loaded with blooms.
Well, I like that this grows vertically.
It does.
Nice and tall.
Yes, so it gets to be 2 feet tall and at its maturity will be 2 feet wide. So a lot of our plants that we see are representations. So this is the real thing. And so I'm so excited to show you up close, yes, these trumpet-shaped flowers. And so when we say it's a pollinator attractor, yes, the hummingbirds, I mean the butterflies and the bees, but hummingbirds. They love,
they go right in there.
Yes, right in there. They love red flowers. So if you love hummingbirds,
they're attracted to that color.
To red. That's why Roxanne's hummingbird feeder is red.
Bright red.
Yes, most of your hummingbird food is even red. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. So that's why, because hummingbirds, whatever happening in that little head of theirs, they like to see, they can see that red color. And so that's why this is a hummingbird magnet. So if you want to see those little pollinators, because hummingbirds are pollinators too, up at your flowers or in your garden, if you want to welcome that life into your garden, you have to try these Spigelia.
Well, this is new today. We've never even had this. It's brand spanking new, already very popular, and it's color. It's again another texture. We're talking 2 feet tall. About how many seasons in would you say these plants are in front of us?
I would say, I'm going to say your second season, but possibly the end of your first growing season.
All right. This one, you're looking for the live plant?
I am.
Okay, we're going to get that for us because I want to know what it looks like too.
I know. Aaron, where's our Spigelia?
You are going to get 2 pieces, by the way. M67017 is your item number on this new guy. And we're seeing the images. We're going to see them. I didn't realize, as you said, they really weren't available commercially.
Yes.
The reason they weren't around, it just wasn't grown en masse. But then Cottage Farms took up the case and you saw the large fields. So now this is kind of the first.
That's right.
The first batch to come on out.
Yep. Exactly. So we are getting it. So this is something that is going to be very sought after by landscape designers, very sought after by designers, because it also works as a great cut flower. But really, this is that tried and true landscape plant that will grow for you in your sun, in your shade, whatever soil conditions you have, you throw it at it, and it will give you this mass of red and yellow. I mean, the inside of the yellow is so, it's almost like, you know, those, you went with the emoji earlier. You know that girl with the red dress?
Yes,
it's like the underside of her dress is yellow.
Well, let's plant.
Let's do it.
All right, now how will our Spigelia arrive
So
to our
these
door?
are bare root. And just like with our daylilies, it's going to be the fastest and healthiest way to get your plant to flower, which is why I was looking to see the ship sample. When it's bare root, what we have over there is what you're going to see in your first season, because this is going to be a plant that's already been growing. Not that it was started from seed, but it has already been through a season or two. It's already 1 or 2 years old.
Okay.
So it's an old plant that's been dug up, cut off the top, dug up, and being shipped to you. But you want to know, what do I do with that? So you can't see it, but there are harder stems sticking out of the top. The bottom has got more of these long, leggy roots, and that's the part that you want to plant down. And you want to dig a nice big hole. So you want to dig a hole that is going to be able to fit your whole root system in.
Okay.
I'm lucky enough to have nice potting soil. And then you want to cover up most of what you see. Cover up all of the roots, just leave a little tiny bit poking out.
Okay, and then this we want to water in really well.
Yes.
If I'm going to plant this around others, about how much space should I leave?
So this will get to be 24 inch, 2 feet big.
Okay, 2 feet.
So make sure, especially if you're planting them together, or I'd love to see you have 4 of these, so you can grow that mass of red color, because I don't know how long we're going to be able to have these for you, or how often we'll be able to bring them back. So get a couple of them, you'll have that color, plant them at least 2 feet apart.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's grab the Mariachi Fuego.
Oh, yes,
so you can see what they look like together, because these are going to be 2 feet tall. Maybe put those up there, put that down, and we can put them together, because these will stick out on top of these.
Look at this.
You've got your little red head, which is 2 feet tall, and then these are shorter at about 18 to 20 inches.
Look at these colors. They coordinate so beautifully. And then, as you said, perfect companion for one another, because you have that more dense and low, the tall and a little more wispy. Oh, these will blow nicely in the wind.
They have great movement. That's one of the other reasons why, you know, we do want some of these dense plants. I think that's great. Here, I'll hold this one. Because, you know, we've said it, I love it when it blocks out the weeds, but we also, there's a lot of place for movement in our garden too. Now, and with the hummingbirds coming up on these, think about how they'll move as the hummingbirds stop. Yes.
I can say, I don't know if I've ever seen any hummingbirds around our home.
Yeah.
If I do, I really don't recall. But I have seen them, and it's always exciting. Now we can give them a little rest stop on their journey.
Yes.
This is going to be perfect for the little trumpet flowers. Whenever you see videos, those are the flowers they're usually going for. And they're attracted to this red color. These flowers are a unique shape, that trumpet flower, and it's new. These little redhead Spigelias we've never had on air before. They're brand new today. You're going to be the first to get this. Our growing season has begun. We're already starting to ship. And so it won't be long.
No,
won't be long before you'll be able to put these in the ground. And these are perennials, so they'll come back again?
They are perennials. They bloom late spring all the way through till the end of summer. So you will have that color. You will have the hummingbirds. I loved how you phrased it, as a rest stop, because the pollinators aren't just living in your home, but they find little, like I call the pollinator highway. So along that pollinator highway, they need a rest stop. They'll come to your house, and especially when you've got red flowers, for not just hummingbirds, but it's easier for the butterflies and the bees to see you from the view that they're flying from, especially if you have more than just 2. So the more color you have, the easier it is for them to see your garden and stop on by.
And we've had lots of good oranges and reds. This is a good show. Great way in this just 2 hours to trick out your entire garden. We still have more to talk about though. All right, take a look, because we still have our raspberry wine bee balm to talk about. And right now, we're going to take a look at our next plant. Now this guy is our, sedum.